On today's episode, our focus is on trust in a relationship. What exactly is trust in a relationship? Can a relationship flourish or thrive without trust? You want to share a secret with your spouse, but you feel unsure. Your spouse checks their messages from a friend and you think they are lying, and so on. Relationships are very difficult to maintain. Every minute of your life becomes a nightmare if you don't trust each other. Sam, looking at this, you would understand that, well, you would want to say in a relationship, one needs to have love, which is one of the elements that builds a relationship. You cannot remove the fact that mutual trust is also important. Mutual respect, is also important. But then again, there is this one element that is missing, and when it's not there, the whole thing crumbles. I'm talking about trust. But what's your view on this?
All right. Trust, it's a very, very fundamental, issue in every relationship. It's very, very important. But that is not to say that every other ingredient that the relationship needs is not important.
Okay.
What are those ingredients I'm talking about? I'm talking about love, like you mentioned. I'm talking about understanding.
Mutual respect.
Communication.
All right.
And respect, like you just mentioned. All of these things are important. But trust is very, very pivotal in a relationship. How do I mean? If, for example, you love someone that you're in a relationship with and you don't trust that person, I am telling you, you will begin to see that your dealings and your affairs with that person will be greatly limited. Why? Because you feel totally unsafe with that individual. You cannot go to bed with your two eyes closed, despite the fact that you love that person. But when you have trust in that person and you don't love that person, you will see that with the space of time, you will begin to feel drawn, if not attracted to that person. Because why? You feel totally safe. In fact, you can even go to bed with your two eyes closed because you know that person has got your back. Not so?
Of course.
And it brings about every other ingredients into that relationship. So, trust is very pivotal in a relationship when compared to every other ingredient. Remember, I said every other ingredients are important.
Of course.
But then trust is more important.
There's actually a word called trust, but I don't want to believe there's trust in relationship nowadays.
To build trust in a relationship is a gradual process. It takes time.
Trust in a relationship is not mathematics. It's not something you calculate. It's something you put into practice.
I think when the both party are both open to each other, like not keeping any secret from each other, I think that will go a long way.
Trust issue, although sometimes it's earned, you have to earn it.
Trust in relationship, I think it should be communication. There should always be communication in relationship.
Trust is a very important factor in everything we do in life.
I don't feel trust somebody because even myself, I can't even trust myself based on the kind of things I'm facing in Nigeria.
When you say trust in a relationship, I think it's from friendship first. Yeah, getting to know the person, you get how long you've gotten to know the person. Then I think from there you can actually gradually build a trust between each other, like with each other.
Trust, maybe the person is loyal to me, so I'll be loyal to him. If you're not loyal to me, I'll not loyal to you. That's just it.
When you trust somebody, you know they're easy. Because me, I don't trust myself. So why can I trust somebody say, I know if he say, I go feel sure? Because all this nowadays, if you fail to trust somebody, you go downgrade at last.
Trust is like practical. Before you trust someone, you have to go many miles and many years, many places before you trust.
Building of trust in a relationship entails loyalty, honesty, and then sincerity.
Trust is over time, and things that you look out for is disposition of people towards some certain topics, their attitude towards some certain issues, the way they carry themselves and in businesses and other aspects.
You must do something that make them to happy, like money, other things to make to trust to.
We can actually build trust from just letting go. Let go of the past. Let yourself in. Just allow it to come in.
Whatever relationship you find yourself, how you can build trust is first to come into that relationship clean.
It's putting somebody in a test in some little things and bigger things. Not that it's something you write down, I want to test my partner or my friend on so thing.
I think communication from both parties should be very key and be truthful to each other, because without truth, trust can't come in.
You cannot just pick a woman today now, you trust him and put him inside your apartment, I want to marry you. That one I die because you never check balance himself.
If you want to be committed to person for your entire life, whether miserable or sweet, one thing you should learn to do or try to do is trust.
The only way we build trust, a very important factor, is to give attention to what is precious to you. You come out clean in the relationship and show care and attention. I believe when you replicate any of those things, most people are bound to also show trust and get committed to the relationship.
Trust test is over time. It's over time. And it has to do with disposition of people towards, life, toward what they believe. When people just speak, you could pick one or two from there.
It is not something you just give out like that. Say, me person, I throw this guy because of, no, they don't do him like that. Person got to do something, we say extraordinary, you go win your emotion, go win something inside you. Say, this guy or this person really try for me. So for that, I give him this trust.
There should be mutual communication, understanding, and be open to each other. Be open to each other. What you don't like, you let your spouse know. What your wife don't like, you let her know. So I think above all, it's just communication. Just have that communication. With that communication, trust comes in.
Most of those who are not trustworthy people, they always look out for people they can trust.
Brother and sister is very okay and very sure, based on family, mother and father, mother and everyone. But relationship, girlfriend, boyfriend, all of her, very difficult and strong level.
So in trust, really, I don't think I can trust even my wife self, even talk less of my brother. Because what I have for them is what I will give them.
Where is the love, self? No trust. Because when you don't get trust, what you're going to say, you're going to plan, say, I don't trust myself. I do so. So I don't trust anybody.
The best way to build trust is just let go.
All right, so joining us right about now is a guest. He is by name Mr. John Okon. He is a social analyst. He will be giving us his own perspective as regards all you need to know about trust. Welcome to the show, Mr. John.
Hi, Josh. Good to see you again.
All right. So, looking at the discussion we're having right about now, trust means several things to several people. But then again, what exactly is trust to you?
Well, trust to me is basically building social capital and cashing it on it later, in my opinion. Because like when people want to talk about relationships, they demand trust. But trust is something you earn. And you earn it based on being consistent. Like you need to be consistent in what you're doing. Let's say someone wants to borrow money from you, yeah, and the person asks for 5K. If you give them 5K and they return the 5K when they say they would return it, that means they are buying social capital. Like, you trust them more. So when they come to ask for 10 and 20, and if they keep returning because you're building a foundation, yeah, and that consistency has put to you that, okay, it's really the same thing with banks. That's also how you build your credit history. Like we are building social capital. So you cannot just come because someone says they care about you or they love you and demand they trust you. Trust is a different thing altogether. I can like you, find you attractive, want to talk to you, want to spend time with you. But then there's certain aspects of this relationship that I have to be careful about if I want it to be long-term for me. Because in the end, I may be bad for you. Like it's not just you being bad for me. Like I may be bad for you as well. So you rushing into it because you think that this is the best thing for you when you're not sure. Like, it's really a recipe for disaster.
First and foremost, is trust an important thing in a relationship?
Yeah, trust is very important. In fact, like it is like on the altar, like the top three. Like personally, for me.
Top 3?
Yeah.
So what takes the first and second stage?
First for me is respect.
Okay.
I do not joke with it. Yeah. Like some people can love you, but not respect you. Yeah. You love your child. You don't respect them. Why? Because you know that they are prone to be irrational. Like they don't have control.
Okay.
Like children are irrational. You love them, but you don't trust them. Yeah. You don't respect them. Like everything you say they do, you want them to do, like they do, or they may know they're really just irrational. So that's kids. So respect is important for me. It's number one. Yeah, you need to respect me. You can respect your boss without loving him, but he knows you're not going to mess up.
All right. Now, looking at the subject matter we're discussing now, this is more of a relationship between two adults.
Okay.
Now, is trust that important for a relationship to thrive, for that relationship to flourish? If yes, what is the reason for it?
Yeah, I do think trust is necessary. And the reason is for you to go on a journey like that with somebody, you need to be sure that they're equipped for this journey. Like, it's basically handing like the emotional part, you're handing them like the tools to be able to hurt you when you are, like you need to hope or believe that they're not going to cash in on it later. Yeah, so like there's a way I used to define love before. I used to define it as giving someone the arsenal to hurt you and hoping they won't use it.
Say that again.
so I used to define love before as giving someone the arsenal.
Okay.
Yeah, giving them the tools to be able to hurt you, but hoping or trusting that they won't use it.